All right, everyone, settle in and listen up. Welcome to Mission Control. I am your flight director for today's explainer, and we are officially initiating the pre-launch telemetry for a highly critical, absolutely vital objective. We are talking about the Cambridge Arabic Language 8680 Paper 2 mission. Now, specifically, we're targeting the module on essay writing, but we are zeroing in heavily on the use of complex sentence patterns and vocabulary. And here is the deal. We are going to treat your upcoming exam paper exactly like a highly sensitive flight system, a system that requires absolute, perfect execution to clear orbit. To really help us understand the parameters of what makes or breaks this flight, I'm putting two of our test pilots up on the central console screen right now. First up, we've got pilot Alex. Now, Alex is brilliant, no doubt about it, but Alex has a habit of totally overcomplicating the data calculations. You know the type, right? Burning way too much time and fuel on incredibly simple maneuvers, leaving nothing in the tank for the actual payload delivery. And next to Alex, we have pilot Sam. Now, Sam is fast, lightning fast, but Sam frequently just flat out ignores our structural boundary constraints, which basically risks a complete systemic breakdown mid-flight. By tracking exactly where their flight paths go right and wrong today, we are going to ensure your own trajectory is absolutely flawless. Let's get into it. Okay, I want you to look closely at this single number on your HUD. 15%. We are actively tracking the exact payload weight here, folks. The use of complex sentence patterns and vocabulary accounts for approximately 15% of your total Paper 2 marks. Now, you might be thinking, oh, 15%, that's just a fraction. No, in aerospace terms, 15% is a massive critical payload. If you lose control of this specific module, say by failing to use advanced conditional clauses like either or in, or if you find yourself stumbling over basic either possessive structures, you are immediately dropping a huge chunk of your mission payload into the ocean. The entire theoretical architecture of this section rests solely on your ability to do three things: use precise definitions, establish crystal clear causal relationships, and seamlessly integrate your vocabulary with the other areas of the syllabus. It is an absolutely critical payload for a successful flight, and as your flight director, there is literally no way I can clear you for launch without securing it first. So here is our optimal flight path to clear orbit today. First, top examiner warnings. Second, the technical methodology. And third, achieving evaluative mastery. Let's get moving. Section 1. Top examiner warnings. Let's analyze the exact debris fields that pilots Alex and Sam keep crashing into. Look at this direct radar warning pulled straight from the principal examiner reports at Cambridge Command. It explicitly states, and I quote, "Candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. Listen to me. Foundational terminology is your launch pad. You literally cannot get off the ground without it." But pilot Sam? Sam often skips this critical step entirely. Sam just rushes headfirst into the essay, throwing around all this complex Arabic vocabulary without actually establishing what those terms mean in the context of the argument. It's like, imagine confusing basic linking words, using li'anna, which means because, when you actually meant to use lidalika, meaning therefore, right? That is an immediate, catastrophic trajectory loss. The examiner gets completely lost in the turbulence because those structural boundary constraints, your definitions, were just totally ignored. You absolutely must anchor your complex sentence patterns with precise, clearly defined terminology. Moving on, the principal examiners have essentially flagged these top 3 exam traps on our debris detection radar. Trap number 1, confusing cause and effect. Now, this is a classic pilot Alex maneuver. Alex will write these incredibly long, sprawling Arabic sentences using highly complex syntax, but completely invert the causal relationship. Alex basically confuses the why with the what. You've got to watch out for that. Trap number 2, forgetting to check format and presentation. Look, you can use absolutely perfect connective particles, things like ama, fa, but if your overall essay format degrades and falls apart, your mission fails. It's that simple. And trap number 3, writing answers that lack specific context. The syllabus practically screams that top-performing students exhibit a connected, conceptual understanding that is transferable to unfamiliar contexts. So if you're just memorizing complex phrases and randomly dropping them in without tying them specifically to the stimulus material you've been given, well, your flight path is completely off target. You're flying blind. Section 2, the technical methodology. But hey, real quick, before we fire the secondary boosters to secure those maximum marks and truly optimize your flight path, I need you to lock in your coordinates. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle @AceTheExams right now and turn on all notifications so you never miss a simulation update. Got it? Okay, let's resume the simulation. So, imagine you are mid-paragraph. You are in the thick of it. Your evidence links are starting to fail. Pilot Alex is over there burning through fuel, trying to forcefully connect two totally disjointed ideas. As your flight director, I am stepping in. I'm overriding the console to inject a standardized structural template. Think of it as your peel structure for the system, to save your trajectory. This standardized 5-step sequence is exactly how you process complex prompts without burning out your engines. Step 1. Identify the key elements from the text. Step 2. Apply the relevant conceptual principles. Step 3. Execute your analysis using that complex Arabic vocabulary and make sure you show clear working. Step 4. Verify your results. Ask yourself, does this sentence actually logically hold up? And finally, Step 5. Present it in the appropriate format. This right here is your procedural framework. You do not just blindly start writing, you systematically process the data. If Pilot Sam had just used this exact sequence, Sam wouldn't have ignored the structural boundaries of the essay prompt. Your data interpretation skills here are absolutely critical. You have to extract from the text, interpret the relationships, and draw evidence-based conclusions using this specific sequence. Now, let's seamlessly transition that protocol into what we call the Deconstruct, Solve, Evaluate framework. This is the core structural template you need to save your trajectory when you inevitably hit a massive cognitive roadblock mid-exam. First, you deconstruct. You identify the given information and you break it down into logical, bite-sized steps. Then you solve systematically. Don't rush it. Finally, you evaluate. Check for reasonableness and make clearly justified recommendations. The Cambridge examiners specifically note that problem solving in this particular module demands this exact sequence. Think about it. When you are constructing a highly complex Arabic sentence, you aren't just writing. You are essentially solving a communication puzzle. You are building a solid bridge of logic from one idea to the next. All right, to make sure you establish these crucial cross-topic connections without experiencing a total system failure under the pressure of the exam, I am currently uploading a quick mnemonic memory hack directly to your pre-flight question scan checklist. Here it is. IAVP. Identify, apply, execute, verify, present. Seriously, say it with me in your head right now. IAVP. Every single time you start a new paragraph, I want you to run this exact diagnostic. Have you identified the core variable? Have you applied the complex Arabic sentence structure correctly? Have you actually executed the analysis? Have you verified that your cause and effect are not confused? And lastly, is your presentation absolutely flawless? Keep this sequence locked in your navigation computer at all times. Section 3. Achieving Evaluative Mastery. We are officially advancing from the descriptive basics to the higher-order critical analysis required for an elite Cambridge score. Let's push into the upper atmosphere. All right, team, it is time for the Interactive Viewer Radar Challenge. I am pulling up a live simulation right here on the HUD. Imagine a 60-second visual countdown clock ticking down on your screen. I want you to track this with me. On the left side of the terminal, we have Pilot Sam's basic descriptive answer. Scan the parameters. It merely lists facts and defines basic Arabic terms. It's safe, sure, but it is super low altitude and honestly, it completely lacks propulsion. Now look over to the right side. We have the elite evaluative answer. Look closely at how the parameters shift here. It actively questions assumptions, it considers completely different perspectives, and it firmly justifies decisions with hard evidence pulled directly from the text. Now, the higher order assessment objectives in this syllabus specifically demand the evaluation of alternatives and justified recommendations. So, I'm putting the challenge to you right now. Mentally scan the screen, spot the debris. Exactly where does a descriptive approach fall below compliance standards?
All right, team, it is time for the Interactive Viewer Radar Challenge. I am pulling up a live simulation right here on the HUD. Imagine a 60-second visual countdown clock ticking down on your screen. I want you to track this with me. On the left side of the terminal, we have Pilot Sam's basic descriptive answer. Scan the parameters. It merely lists facts and defines basic Arabic terms. It's safe, sure, but it is super low altitude and, honestly, it completely lacks propulsion. Now look over to the right side. We have the Elite Evaluative answer. Look closely at how the parameters shift here. It actively questions assumptions, it considers completely different perspectives, and it firmly justifies decisions with hard evidence pulled directly from the text. Now, the higher order assessment objectives in this syllabus specifically demand the evaluation of alternatives and justified recommendations. So, I'm putting the challenge to you right now. Mentally scan the screen, spot the debris. Exactly where does a descriptive approach fall below compliance standards? Got it? It fails because it doesn't demonstrate evaluative thinking. A top-scoring candidate doesn't just show the examiner that they memorized a complex Arabic word, they use that word as a tool to compare approaches. They use precise phrasing, like ala ragman mean despite, to show concession, to establish a condition, and to construct a genuinely multi-layered argument. That, my friends, is what evaluative mastery looks like on the radar.
Okay, pilots Alex and Sam have successfully adjusted their coordinates based on today's telemetry, and I am very happy to confirm a successful, full-mark touchdown sequence. Amazing work. Now, before you log off the terminal today, make sure to subscribe to Ace the Exams at @AceTheExams. Hit that notification bell so you absolutely do not miss our next flight simulation, and drop a comment below sharing your specific subject and tier with the crew. Finally, as we power down the central console, I want you to look at this question and ask yourself, does your next essay merely describe, or does it truly evaluate? Are you just listing basic facts, or are you utilizing complex Arabic sentence patterns to question assumptions and justify your decisions? The controls are in your hands now. Mission dismissed.